All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Immortal Hulk, issue number 27. Oh man, I'm not sure if I can take this for much longer, but this is till issue 50. I don't. I'm gonna do everything, no matter how bad it gets. And this one is pretty bad. Art is stellar, by the way, by Joe Bennett, but the writing, oh my god. Anyway, covered by Alex Ross, and more of this crap. And the story begins at Roxxon. So somehow, a little bit of a spoiler here, I guess. The Hulk is now, in my opinion, becoming a social justice warrior. Yes, you heard it. You heard it. Instead of wanting to be left alone or dealing with foes that wants to kill him, he's now becoming a social justice warrior, and he's now setting his eyes on Roxxon Corporation. Why? Don't know. I mean, for those who don't know, Roxxon is some kind of a mega corporation. That is coming back to the Marvel Universe. I hate that word, Marvel Universe. But in Marvel Comics, comebacks all the time, right? It's some kind of a company that is mostly associated with cybernetics, robotics, energy, and oil. But somehow they have turned their sights on another product that is very important to them and the Hulk, it seems. And not only that, the way that has been written here, that you have to read it from left to right. And if there is one page, I don't mind, but it's the whole book. You have to read the whole book from left to right. From left to right. Which is stupid. Anyway, so these guys talk about shareholders. So this is the Minotaur. He is now the big bad guy. He is, working his way up. He has some kind of a human form, but now also showing his true form. People are afraid of him, of course, because he's ruthless. And this doctor who's now working for Bruce Banner, look at his smug face, is now want to infiltrate Roxxon West Data Center. Data like in information. And we have some couple of guards that are, antagonizing each other, because they, rile each other up. And so we have this bull that has been repeating itself, he says he's betrayed the earth to elves. Talking to this guy called Higgins. I mean, he said that in the last issue. He also does say it here and later on as, again. And this guy has probably made some kind of a mistake. The story is pretty irrelevant in my opinion. And so the doctor warns Dr. Banner about teleportation, this new way of teleportation, although the Hulk has been teleported many, many times before, but this is, new other technology of a facility that they took over, and he doesn't care because he's going to survive anyway. Well, these guys are punching it out, right? Anyway, he's going to be, also he's being told that there are people over there that can tackle the Hulk or something like that, right? Well, the Minotaur is threatening Higgins, because he says, Roxxon, it says, when I became CEO of Roxxon, Roxxon was stepping up their renewable energy program. I took us in the opposite direction. He's transforming, they're transforming, because they have fight each other for shits and giggles, I guess. Can I say that? And the Minotaur is talking about weaponry, about assault rifles and super-powered beings, etc., or controlling the politicians because they have the power to do that, because it's the power of speech and the power of the narrative. And that's what this whole book is about information, because that's a topic nowadays, false information, fake news. There was a couple of years back, was a hot topic. Nobody talks about that anymore. But, because now we have other new problems that is probably not relevant in the near future. Anyway, so this whole thing is not really that interesting, except that, somehow Bruce Banner is going to Roxxon West 10 minutes before the sun comes up. And in this iteration of the Hulk, when the sun comes up, he transforms back into the Hulk. But the Hulk says, nah, it'll be fine. Okay? So this guy talks about projections and you know, that's not the way Roxxon works or something like that. And studies. And he says, you've been looking at studies we released to public consumption. And then he talks about, I don't know, deadlines and stuff that I think, what is this all about, right? Is this interesting? Is this fun to read? Because the whole thing is about information, data, they collected. I'm coming back to that. Well, maybe it's here already. And maybe he's going to tell me in just a couple of seconds. Just give me a second. Is it here? No. Okay, then one. Next page. So the Hulk comes in, starts punching as always. And, right. So he says, of all the many products we sell, the most profitable and powerful is narrative. Selective, packaged, expertly targeted, highly potent. Control of what information the public receives and believes is vital to continued business. Okay. Remember when Roxxon just made, I don't know, superpowered villains to tackle heroes? Well, that's not in here. Well, they did something with these guards that are guarding this facility somehow. The Hulks just come here to do smashing, I guess, right? Also, these guys are called berserkers, bathed in blood dragons, stronger than gods. Yeah, right. But he, so this guy says, hey, the Hulk attack is in progress. You want to be kept informed. So MINOTAUR says, okay, well, that's a good opportunity. Send in the berserker units. But this guy says, no, you misunderstand. He's attacking us. One of our data centers in, one in Oregon. All right, so Hulk does some smashing, right? Because he's the Hulk. And these guys are wimps. So MINOTAUR is not pleased, and he blames Higgins because he says, how did he know? We don't have an answer because Higgins is dead, right? He says, I found myself in need of a stress ball. All right. I'm afraid we have a serious problem. Cool. So the Hulk comes in this data center, smashing everything. So then the whole thing has now been revealed. Shocking. I told you from the beginning, right? So instead of doing something, he's talking about, again, controlling the narrative. I mean, all right, we already know that. So he's talking about server farms that keep URox, YouTube, Roxface, Facebook, Yambler, Tumblr, the forums running. Rox's entire social media reach and a window to the soul of mankind, blah, blah. And he says there is trillions of terabytes per second, goldmine of data, etc., right? And they use that to control the narrative, right? It's not rocket science, but that's the whole book here. So the Hulk is something to, I don't know, smash the surface for reasons. There's also some kind of elite level Hulk troops. Yeah, right. There's no contest. He just beats them in seconds, right? So this guy says, servers are down. The backup saved what they could. Well, the system isn't designed for that. Okay, so this guy's going away, says meeting adjourned. So Facebook is offline. And that's it. The Hulk beat social media, I guess. But then the sun is coming up, and the doctor says, hey, you need to come back because the sun is up. But then Hulk's son suddenly says, yeah, the day ate my time, but Banner showed me I could fight that. Really? How did he show you? When was that conversation? Because I wasn't there, and I read the whole Immortal Hulk storyline till now. I don't know, but Ewing, who is the writer, just say, believe me, bro, we can fight that. We can work together, McGowan, he says. And now he suddenly can bathe in sunlight and he doesn't reverse back to Banner. Isn't that convenient? That it suddenly with just a Snap of the finger, he can probably, or holds that process, and now the Hulk can, work in daylight again, because that was a flaw in his design, I guess, and now the design has been rectified. The flaw is removed because Banner talked to the Hulk and showed the Hulk how to do it. Okay, yeah, thanks for informing me that could be instantly done without hesitation, without any struggles. Just, yeah, believe me, bro. And, the kryptonite is gone. Hulk is now, Hulk 24/7. Great job. Yeah, Hulk beats social media. Wow. What a shit book. Leads us to the next issue. I don't know, man. Why? Why do we need a story about social media? Why is Hulk targeting Roxxon Corporations? I mean, they didn't, trouble the Hulk with anything as far as I know, and then suddenly he just takes the fight to them for whatever reason, because the plot needs to happen or something. It's just shit. I cannot say it otherwise. It's just bad writing. But who am I? Anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.